Every day across Fort Collins, thousands of young athletes step onto fields, courts, and gyms. They come to compete, they come to improve, they come to be part of something bigger than themselves. But the lessons that matter most go far beyond the scoreboard. That's where CHAMP begins. CHAMP, Character in Athletics, Make It a Priority, was built on a simple but powerful belief that sports are one of the greatest platforms we have to shape character, build leaders, and strengthen our community. Over a decade ago, a group of community leaders saw an opportunity not just to support athletics, but to transform culture through it. And today, that vision continues to grow. Each year, CHAMP impacts more than 14,000 student athletes and over 2,000 coaches across the Fort Collins area. Through recognition programs like the Outstanding Character Athlete and Coach of Character Awards, we celebrate those who lead with integrity, resilience, and respect. Through the Heart of a Champion Senior Scholarship, we're backing kids who carry these values with them long after the final whistle. And using the performance and team building TAP sessions to strengthen the team culture at Timnett High School, we're helping athletes better understand themselves, their teammates, and what leadership really looks like. Because character isn't something you talk about once. It's something you build day by day, rep by rep, choice by choice through many voices and leaders. Because character isn't static, it evolves. And in today's world of youth sports, helping athletes grow as people is just as important as helping them grow as competitors. But our work is far from finished. As our community grows, so does our opportunity and our responsibility to reach more athletes, support more coaches, and impact more families. We believe the next decade of CHAMP can be even more powerful than the last. More programs, more partnerships, more lives changed. But we can't do it alone. We need leaders, we need volunteers, we need champions of this mission. And we need your support to continue investing in the character of our youth. This morning, we're proud to welcome you to the 18th annual Breakfast of Champions, a time to come together, celebrate impact, and look ahead at what's possible. When we prioritize character and athletics, we're not just building better athletes, we're building better teammates, better leaders, and better people. And ultimately, a stronger community for all of us. So thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in this mission, and thank you for helping us shape the future, one athlete at a time.
All right, good morning. Nice job, Tom Hilbert. It's like you know how to coach or something. Get a good video out there. All right, thank you all for coming here this morning, getting up nice and bright and early. My name is Susie Wargen. I am honored to be emceeing this for the first time. I MC a lot of events, and I've never done this one before, so this is great. For those that don't know about me, I'm a graduate of CSU, class of 1992, so that was a while ago. My husband he likes to say he has 2 degrees from here, so he can beat me in that because he has a master's, and our son also graduated from here, so we got a lot of ties here to CSU. I currently do work in the Denver area. I've done radio and TV since graduating from here, so it's a lot of fun to be here. I love being around sports, love being around events like this, and this is going to be a great morning. You're going to hear a lot of really cool stories, and we're going to recognize some great people this morning. It is the 18th annual, as Tom said, Breakfast of Champions. Every year, it reminds us of some pretty special things, including our community that is full of remarkable people, people that show up, lift others up, and lead with character, and today we're going to celebrate that together. So get ready for a morning that's going to leave you inspired. We want to thank some people first. Of course, we can't be here today without the dedication and resources provided from some very special individuals and businesses. If you could hold your applause until I get through the list, but I want to recognize our past and present board members, Tom Lopez, Dave Dixon, Jason Burkett, Stephanie Claveter, Tom Livingston, Ken Schrader, Angela Knopfcastle, Sean Sullivan, and Jamie May. Are you board members? Stand up if I just called your name. Let's give them all a round of applause, past and present. Thank you. Our sponsors include our promotional partners, Canvas Credit Union, Livingston Real Estate, and Phillips Financial. Our VIP sponsors are Flood and Peterson and RBC Financial, and the MVP sponsors are Gallegos Foundation and Triple Crown Sports. Let's give a round of applause to our sponsors. Big thanks to them. And our founding members, Colorado State University, Healthier Communities Coalition, City of Fort Collins, and the Poudre School District. Thank you to our founding members as well. So before we dive into this morning's program, a quick word about why we are here. What is CHAMP? CHAMP has been building character and strength in this community for 18 years, and none of it would be possible without all of you that are here this morning. CHAMP runs entirely on private donations and sponsorships. There are no grants. There's no government funding, just very generous people like who is in this room this morning. If you'd like to help CHAMP grow, it's very easy to give. All of you on your tables have a QR code. So if you look at that QR code, guess what? Your camera will take you exactly to a secure donation just in seconds. Every contribution makes a difference, and we thank everybody for their generosity. So feel free to use that QR code at any time. We're going to get things started right now by recognizing our Outstanding Character Athlete Awards, and I'm going to announce all of these names. This award is presented to local youth athletes who exemplify outstanding character both on and off the field. As I call your name, please stand, and I know the A's are going to be standing for a long time till we get to the end of the alphabet, but stand so we can recognize all of you at the end. We've got Emery, Autry, Siri Green, Gracie Howard, Susie Pizzi, Riley Boolers, Trinity Burchett, Aiden Jensen, Josh Malone. I don't see anybody standing yet. Oh, you guys are. Oh, you're all at the back of the room. Okay. Lizzie Malzahn, Jonah Kent, Micah Perez, Keaton Thomas, Braden Bragg, Sela Camping, Serena Dizkun, Micah Dietrich, Leah Robertson, Brady Burkett, Grace Cox, Jesus Escobar, Olive Giuliani, Cannon Timrock, Ben Zulkowski, Katie Cordova, Elliot Santola, Garrison Ware, Jackie Wilson, Ty Frank, Ariana Choraya, Ariana, sorry, I'm gonna make that one not sound very good this morning. Chernaya, there we go. Ainsley Willard, Carmela Foote, Paige Barlow, Lila Crown, Berlin Ferks, Annie Fowler, Maddie Gilchrist, Jackson Harmon, Maya Coop, Aaron Locke, Ella Nook, Jack Rumley, Olivia Stansberry, and Emmett Stevenson. Are all of you standing, I hope? Thank you for getting up early this morning. Congratulations on your Outstanding Character Athlete Award. Great job, student athletes. All right, next we have our Outstanding Coach of Character Award. The Coach of Character Award is presented to local coaches for exemplifying outstanding character both on and off the field. As I call your name, please come up on stage and stay up here. We have Aaron Waters from SPD Stars Girls Flag Football, Paul Shimrick from Tinmouth High School Volleyball, Patty Turner from Blevins Middle School Football, Nevin Olson from Wellington Middle High School Football, and then Doug Stone from the Fort Collins area swim team. Could the five of you please come up on stage? And let's hear it for our Outstanding Coach of Character Award winners. You see their names? Whoops. There we go, thank you. See their names. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them and this award too. This is the Heart of a Champion Senior Scholarship, which rewards college-bound high school seniors who have been acknowledged by their coaches, teachers, and peers for demonstrating superior character during their high school careers. As I call each of you up, please come up here on stage and stay here. We're going to start with Katie Cordova. Let me tell you about Katie. Katie's a member of the Poudre High School cheer team. She demonstrates leadership, hard work, and continued excellence through school, her sport, and the friendships that she's made. Katie consistently places the needs of others before her own and leads not only through volume or attention, but through example, compassion, and integrity. She has a deep commitment to serving others and shows up for her teammates in ways that are meaningful and impactful. Let's hear it for Katie Cordova. Congratulations, Katie. You'll stand here by yourself for a second, but we'll bring more up. All right, let's hear about Lila Crown. Lila has been a calm, quiet, and strong presence in the volleyball program for the last 4 years. She played a non-starter role for them this season and did a fantastic job knowing her role and doing it to the best of her ability. She's been a great teammate, a hard worker, and even through injury, shows up for her team even when battling adversity. Lila has a desire and gift to help others and is a natural teacher. Let's hear it for Lila Crown. Congratulations, Lila. Next, we have Carmela Foote. Carmela is a 4-year varsity athlete and serves as the captain of her team this year. A natural leader, she consistently goes above and beyond to ensure that every team member feels included and supported. Whether it's helping underclassmen with schoolwork or leading by example on and off the mat, she approaches everything with an open smile and an open mind. Her positivity, dedication, and team-first attitude makes her not only a true team player, but also an absolute joy to be around. Carmela has a true heart of a champion, standing firm in who she is with perseverance, resilience, humility, and heart. Let's hear it for Carmela Foote. All right, and next we have Jack Rumley. Jack does it all. Participated in unified football, basketball, soccer, and a manager for volleyball and girls basketball. Jack is a fierce competitor and a selfless teammate. He loves to be with his team, works hard, and has a heart for athletics and doing the right things. Not only has he been an athlete, but he's also been a stalwart leader as a manager for 2 sports, dedicating extra time to helping his teammates by filling water bottles, shaking balls, handing balls to coaches, attending practices and games, all while also serving an internship at the Lee Martinez Farm. Let's hear it for Jack Rumley.
Thank you.
Nice job, Jack.
Thank you.
All right, let's hear it for these 4 Senior Scholarship Award winners. You guys look at our photographer with a photo of you.
You can do it. You got this. Don't hang your head down. Pick yourself back up and try again. I was coached by my dad, and I'll never forget the moment I thought I was done pitching, and he said, "No, you've got more in you." And he kept me out there in the game, challenged me beyond what I thought I could do. I did close that game out. We did win that game.
When I think of Dave King, I think of serial entrepreneur, I think of innovator, I think of tough love, and I think of somebody that believes in people, probably more than anyone else I know.
I've been able to do things that I never thought was possible, and it's really because of this push-pull that he has. He really supports you and encourages you, but behind the scenes, he's definitely challenging you to be the best person you can be.
The Dave King Challenger Award is truly about those coaches that show, challenge, and express themselves in a way to the athlete that infuses them with more self-esteem than they ever thought they could have.
Okay, next up is the Dave King Challenger Award. A big thank you to Dave King, thank Triple Crown Sports, and also CEO Carrie King for sponsoring this award. The Dave King Challenger Award honors a female coach or administrator that challenges their players and associates to reach beyond their perceived limits, infusing self-esteem and character to tackle life's next big obstacle. We have some past winners in our audience this morning, so we'll recognize them first. We have Amy Snyder here, Angela Knopf-Castle, Patty Harsh, Dee Ann Pendleton Hem. Are the 4 of you here? Please stand up if you are. Let's recognize our past Dave King Challenger Award winners.
So Ms. Keyworth has worked with females and forwarding the community. At least when I was growing up, she would always have the camps for the younger kids, so it wasn't just the high school kids, so it was always the younger kids. And What I liked about it was that she always brought the same enthusiasm and everything to all those camps. And so it wasn't just a job for her, and you could feel it from her in those camps. And she really made you want to play for her. And then she was always the positive, make you feel good about yourself in those camps and, you know, when you're younger. And I think it just really helps, you know, kids as they grow up and just want to keep playing basketball.
She really, it goes back to the standards that she would hold for us. She really held us to a high standard. And it goes back to caring about us as people. I can't tell you the number of times that she checked in on me personally and helped me in my personal life, and then also helped me on the basketball court. So she instilled a lot of pride in the basketball program at Rocky, and we all still carry that pride to this day. I know a lot of people who played basketball for her, and we'll see each other and we'll constantly be like, "Go Lobos!" So we wear this logo with pride, for sure.
How lucky was I and our teammates to have someone so, you know, such an incredible person in our lives. You know, from her character to integrity to hard work to her fire and competitiveness. I pinch myself all of the time that I was, you know, I had someone like that in my life at that point in my life, and continues to stay in my life.
Oh, simply put, Winnie is a class act, you know, in basketball, in school, in life. She exemplifies ambition. She's got a ton of drive, so you feel that from her. You know, you want to emulate that. You want to build that in yourself. She made such an impact on all of us, and it was subtle but strong, and we all just loved her. I would go back to that time in my life in a heartbeat, just to be coached by her.
She inspired me to not only be a better athlete, but a better person. She has the unique ability to make people want to perform for her and make her proud. She pushes young athletes to compete and grow while building their self-esteem, encourages kids to be courageous through success or failure. When I think about Terry, the mentor and friend, I think about the honest and hard conversations and all of the support she gave me as I entered my adult life and career.
You never saw her get on refs, get on players, like yelling at them or, you know, anything like that. And so it was all like what her actions did. It wasn't so much, you know, her telling us and then her actions were something different. It was just always, you know, like how she handled herself.
She was a coach that always cared about the athlete, and she also cared about the person. And so she would care about us as people first and then athletes second. She coached kids who were All-Americans at the Division I level, and she also coached athletes who never went on to play in college. And so I really think that's what made her special, is how she would figure out the athlete's goals, and then she would set standards and she would coach us to whatever our goals were.
I think about who I am today as a woman, and the things that I've done in my profession has been largely in sport, has been largely around empowering female athletes and empowering young people to have a positive experience in the game. And I know for sure I would never be doing what I am doing and have done in my career if I had not had such a positive experience in the game and had, you know, such a strong female role model. So I feel so lucky. Terry, I love you to death. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Wow, some pretty big testimonials. Welcome to the stage, Terry Keyworth. Congratulations, Terry.
Thank you, guys. First, thanks to Champ for this wonderful honor. Dave King for all you've done in this area. congratulations on being inducted into the UNC Hall of Fame. To my husband, Mark, for being a wonderful man and a great father. To my boys, Chuck and Tedesse, for making me a mom, making every day better, and for letting me follow you on your journeys. To my amazing parents and my 4 siblings, for somehow accepting a shy, quirky, ultra-competitive, super stubborn tomboy, never asking me to change who I am, just accepting me. You know, I grew up playing sports when I was probably about 5 or 6, just in the neighborhood in the early 70s. And we would go out and just play in the front yard, usually after I'd spent about an hour in my brother's football uniform. And we would play with the dads and the sons, and it was myself and one other female, Bonnie Bennett. And she later went on to be the first woman inducted into the Naval Academy Hall of Fame. Wow. And then I started organized sports through Parks and Recreation in 3rd grade, not knowing that only 2 years prior, there were not any girls' sports in Parks and Rec in Fort Collins. And the first camp I went to was put on by Diane Lloyd, one of the few female female coaches back in that time. She was the head coach at Rocky Mountain. And there, Dave Danielson saw me, and he somehow convinced Ken Cochran, who was the head of Heart of America basketball camp, to allow a 10-year-old to come to a camp for 12 to 18-year-olds. And that's where I learned my love for defense and taking charges. To all my coaches, junior high and high school, who somehow convinced us girls that we were just as important as the boys, even though the fans in the stands told us otherwise. To all these people, there were my hands of opportunity, shielding me from the reality that there really wasn't a lot of opportunities back in the 70s and 80s, and I'm glad that's changing. And for letting them believe, or helping me believe, that I could accomplish my goal of being a college athlete and a teacher and a coach. To all my students, athletes, colleagues, the amazing parents who trusted me with their children through all my amazing years as a teacher and a coach, thank you for the memories, for each moment we spent that will last a lifetime, for being a part of learning that hard work does equal success, that team is the most important thing, that hard days and losses are simply just lessons that we learned along the way, that we made each other better people. And through it all, the most important thing was the friendships we made along the way. So I thank everybody who was a part of my journey, making my dreams come true. Thank you all so much.
Kelly McGregor was a man of character, courage, and integrity who spent his life investing in people and encouraging those who had the privilege to meet him. As a former All-American football player at Colorado State University, he became a friend to CSU, Fort Collins, and Champ.
Things of quality are built slowly. Character is built slowly. Character is encouraged slowly. Quality organizations are built slowly. Good communities are built slowly, one layer at a time. The one thing I can tell you about leadership and character is you'll never outlead your character. If you want to be a great leader, you need to grow your character. You need to understand that character is something that you wake up with and you go to bed with. It's who you are. And it's something you need to demonstrate consistently. And if you want people to follow you, so one thing I can tell you is they will find a flaw if it's there. But they'll give you your heart if you lead with your character. And they'll give you your heart if they see that character 24 hours a day. If they're having a meeting like this 20 years from now, you will have left a legacy that made an enormous difference in the city of Fort Collins. And for you leaders that stepped up, you will have met your goal. 20 years from now is the goal of today. 30 years from now is the goal of today. It's not tomorrow. It's not how much money we raise today. It's the legacy that all of you leave in this great community 20 or 30 years from now.
Kelly was a courageous leader and a legacy builder. The Kelly McGregor Award is an award for service for servant leadership. It was created in Kelly's memory to recognize an administrator or director who makes a difference in their organization through courageous leadership and a commitment to character that benefits the Fort Collins community. Kelly McGregor made a significant impact on character in Fort Collins and the state of Colorado. We are proud to present this award annually to honor Kelly's legacy.
man, missed that guy. We're coming up on the 16th anniversary of his passing. That's hard to believe. Thank you to Kelly and Lori McGregor. And we also want to thank our sponsor for the Kelly McGregor Servant Leadership Award, Flood and Peterson. As you heard in the video, this award honors a local leader who benefits their organization as well as the Fort Collins community through their character and courageous leadership. We do have some past award winners in our audience this morning. Tom Lopez, I believe, is here. Gary Ozello and Kelly Lyle. Are you here? There's Gary. Is Kelly here? There's Kelly too. Let's congratulate them as past award winners.
Mike is a servant leader in all circles, whether it's his family, his friends, or his career in the city of Fort Collins. Mike has been a servant leader in all of those circles. And even when he was not the Parks and Rec director, Mike was leading from the back. Sort of like a sheep herder, Mike found leadership not in his title, but with whatever situation he was presented. And his common sense approach never thinks about recognition, rather he's thinking about what's the greater good. And like Kelly McGregor said, great things are built slowly. Great communities are built slowly. Mike Calhoun is a great example of someone that took time to build his career out slowly. He built his lasting friendships slowly. He built out his family slowly. And he doesn't change his ways in a heartbeat. Mike is got a steady approach that ensures that everyone's taken care of versus a narrow interest. This type of leadership behavior is something we need more of in our leaders in today's era.
Mike has had such a tremendous impact on the Fort Collins community. I feel like so many places where you look, you see his fingerprints. So whether that is our amazing parks and recreation system, our sports fields, if you think about downtown and the beautiful flowers that we have downtown, just the relationships, some of the positive relationships between the city and the community really are a testament to Mike and the impact that he's had.
Mike, as a self-proclaimed redneck, and that's his words, not mine, throughout his career he would talk about that. And I've known a lot of really good rednecks in my time, and I think Mike's probably at the top of the list. He defines, if that's what that is, then what that is caring about people, focusing on the things that are important, not the things that are surrounding or self-serving. Being able to cut to the core of a topic that genuinely serves the community that is being served, not another purpose. I think Mike's long experience in his position and within the department led him to really understand all the layers and all the levels that needed to play together to serve the community well. So I think the staff having been built in a certain way, the culture having been built in a certain way, probably allowed Mike to be a better servant leader, but that's a tribute to the staff, but also to Mike for understanding that the platform he could work from could only be stronger if that culture generally existed.
Well, as the former city manager of Fort Collins, I worked a lot with Mike as the parks director, but I also have spent a lot of time out of the work role and in a personal relationship. The way that he interacts with people, the way he interacts with children and his coworkers is, he's just a leader. He's character matters. When Mike makes a commitment, he honors that. He does it in a really fun way, in a really playful way, not in a formal leadership kind of way, but through influence. If you were to ask, what about Mike Calhoun, people would say he's just a giving soul, and he's a great man, and grateful to have him as a friend.
Everything Mike did over his careers was what's best for the community, how do I get to yes. He is what a servant leader is.
Even going back further with his relationship with Kelly McGregor himself, back with the Roy Foundation back in the 90s, Calhoun really used some of those character traits that Kelly had and brought them to our department. So he lived his life, his work life, embodying those servant leadership goals. We're all public servants, and he brought that point home to us. And yeah, what we're providing the community, it's a beautiful thing.
Mike is a relationship guy through and through, and someone who lives his values every day. One of the phrases that I attribute to Mike and that Mike says all the time is, "I'm gonna pull the string." And what he's doing in that is he's really connecting the work of every individual employee to the larger work of the city organization. And what I have seen that just be a result of is Mike's deep core belief that every single person matters. And that's how he treats people.
All right, Mike Calhoun, come on up. And hopefully that speech has some jabs at Thad Anderson. I went to college with Thad, so feel free. And I know Thad's emceed this before too. Yeah.
Wow. Good morning. Standing here at the Breakfast of Champions, receiving an award that carries Kelly McGregor's name is something I never imagined, and something I don't take lightly. It's meaningful in a way that's hard to put into words, especially because I had the privilege of knowing Kelly personally. He wasn't just a leader I admired, he was a friend. And that makes this moment deeply humbling. Kelly led with a rare combination of strength, humility, and genuine care for people. He made everyone around him feel valued. He listened, he lifted others up, and he lived his values every single day. Even though his family isn't here today, those of us who knew him, and even many who didn't, continue to feel the impact of his example. His influence is still shaping this community in quiet and powerful ways. I first got to know Kelly through the Roy Foundation, where he served as our chairman of the board. I was working alongside him there, supporting families, raising awareness, and helping advance the fight to cure cystic fibrosis. He gave me a front row seat to the kind of leader he truly was. What stood out most wasn't just his vision or his work ethic, it was his belief that leadership is rooted in relationships, in how you treat people, how you show up for them, how you help them grow. That lesson has stayed with me my whole life. My own career in Fort Collins, 36 years working alongside dedicated teams in our Parks Department and in the city organization, many of them are here today, reinforce that same truth. Leadership is never about one person. It's about the relationship you build, the people you serve, and the effort to leave things a little better than you found them. Whatever impact I've had has been because of the people around me. Mentors who guided me, colleagues who challenged me, and a community that trusted me. That's why CHAMP is so important. It means so much. You invest in young people, you build character, you strengthen this community in ways that last. Kelly believed in that kind of work, and so do I. To my family, my friends, colleagues, thank you for supporting me and for giving me the chance to serve in ways that mattered. I'm grateful for this honor, and I'll do my best to continue living up to the values that Kelly embodied so naturally. Thank you, Champ.
Next award, the Sonny Lubick Coach of Character Award. I want to thank Sonny and also the sponsor, the Gallegos Foundation. As you heard in the video, this honors coaches who have demonstrated an unwavering commitment to the character development of the student athletes, which there's no doubt that Sonny did that. We do have some past winners in attendance this morning. We'd like to have you stand and be recognized. Doug Max is here, Tom Hilbert, Kirk Watulski, Barrett Gollier, and also Mark Brook. If all of you could please stand as former award winners of the Sonny Lubick Coach of Character Award. Thanks for being here this morning.
Is, first of all, been here over 30 years as a coach at Colorado State. He was born and raised in Colorado, and I think that speaks highly of what he thinks Colorado State is all about, and he obviously thinks it's a good program and that he would want to stay this long, right? And he is the head coach and the throws coach, which is super uncommon in the NCAA at the Division I level. And so I think that just speaks for itself, but then also like the support that he gets from the community, the staff, our team is unbelievable.
My definition of character has been shaped largely by Coach Bedard. He impacts the character development of his athletes, I think, through honesty and through his actions. He lives out what he says he does. He holds a firm line for them, and I think that that's what young athletes need. Is they need to be held, accountable to who they are. His position is hard. He gets to give a kid a scholarship and give him to what I feel like is maybe the greatest opportunity they'll ever have in their life, is to get to go do their sport and get paid for it, and then be given an education at the same time. But at the same time, he's got to take that away too if they don't perform, right? Which is a really, really hard conversation to have with an athlete, and he does it often, right? And so I think that he shows them that character through having both the good and the bad conversations.
He allows his athletes to set what seem like unattainable goals. So in my case, I would set these wild, what looked like unattainable goals, and even though there was teammates of mine that would laugh or even make fun of me at practice, he would allow that but say nothing. And so what it takes for a coach to do that when you are quiet, when you're watching this happen, for a mediocre athlete to set a goal and just stay quiet and say, let's just see what she does, is incredible. It's in those quiet spaces where that fire wells up. And so what he did for me was not only let me set those goals, but he feverishly helped me obtain my goals and fed that fire within so that I could have everything that I wanted.
He is such a servant leader. You'll always see him, like I have pictures of him on his hands and knees, like scrubbing the throwing ring out if it's dirty. He's always unloading like the buses. He speaks at Night of Champions a lot for FCA. He's part of a Bible study. Like you can always go to him. I think he's really approachable. If you have a problem, like he's not gonna judge you for that at all, and he's always open to listen. And he's always one for just kind of facilitating and leading by example.
Outside of my father, he's the most impactful male figure ever in my life, without a doubt. I think even today, when he calls me, he says, "Are you being a good, you being a good husband? Are you being a good dad?" He's not afraid to ask those questions and those real questions.
I think Coach Bedard, and he always has, does a really good job of recruiting character. And so I think, especially on the team right now, like we have such good teammates because their character is so good. And like Coach Bedard fosters that kind of community like crazy. He always puts the athlete before the sport.
His impact and having the ability to believe in someone more than they believe in themselves is insane. They can see something in you that you can't see in yourself. And that's what this award is about. That is the character impact of Coach Bedard. And I hope he keeps coaching until he's dead, because that's exactly where he needs to be. That is the impact that is lasting, and he deserves every single award that he gets.
Some give the Coach a Character Award.
Talk as long as you want to.
I didn't know I was supposed to speak this morning. I got that little surprise, and then I'm supposed to talk after that. This all started back in 1988. First, I want to thank the Champ Board for the recognition. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. My wife said it took 37 years to get to this point. You're a slow learner. But I said, hey, I got here. I graduated in '88. Many of you were not born yet. And there was a coaching opportunity on the staff. The coach that worked with me went back to California, so there's a vacancy. Highly coveted position. It was in CSU's Infinite Wisdom back then, it was a 3/4 time position that you work full time, But this allowed CSU to not give me any benefits or anything like that, or health insurance. So, but looking back, Doug Mack said, this is a great opportunity for you. I see this gifting and coaching, and that sounds really good, but in actuality, he didn't have any other opportunities. Who's going to take that position? Someone with a quality coach with experience? Not going to happen. But what it did allow us, me to get my foot in the door in coaching. Doug Max also did not have any scholarship aid in the event areas I was working with, so it was a very low-risk deal for him. The athletes luckily got better with my coaching, and he saw, okay, this guy actually knows somewhat what he's doing, and he started to move some scholarship aid in my direction. And just due to the lack of other coaches on staff, right now we have 6 full-time coaches. Back then, what is it, 3, maybe 2 or 3? So it was kind of a ragtag bunch, and Brian, we need you to fill in here or there. So I was able to coach a lot of different event areas, which helped my career. But back then, folks, we didn't have internet and stuff. So now you can go online and check it, and build yourself up, your credentials as a coach, and figure stuff out. And there's all kinds of coaching, education stuff. They didn't have that back then. So I had to rely on some mentors that were really patient with me in all my questions. Doug was very patient with me with some of my brash coaching styles and stuff, and Doug built into me, and I appreciate that. Very patient guy. But I'm not going to tell you a life story about my coaching. What I did want to maybe talk to the young coaches about, coaches are ship builders. That's S-H-I-P, not the other one. We did have a recent issue at the indoor track. This is no joke. The sewer system collapsed over there. We've been shut down. So, and a lot of you here know that I've been in that building a long time. He said, you're part of that. You're not a ship builder, but they got it fixed. We're back in the building. They got it sanitized. We're okay. But I realized I'm a ship builder. So what does that mean? I'm either focusing my coaching and the team on winning championships, or I'm coaching and building our team, focusing on relationships. And that's where the real investment takes place. Not some dusty trophies in our trophy case, but impacting athletes' lives for hopefully a lifetime if I don't mess it up. And coaches, I'm not perfect. I mean, the athletes I've worked with know that. They know my flaws. I make it very evident to them, as does my family. My wife holds me accountable. She has a list of things I still need to work on. I get it. I understand. I'm an imperfect man. But I do know that if we focus on building relationships in our team, focus on building those relationships with the student athletes, my assistant coaches, my support staff, that's critical. Communication is key. For some reason, we've gotten away from that as coaches, or athletes aren't comfortable with that. They're in their phone all the time. We have deliberate communication with our athletes, eye-to-eye contact, and it starts in the recruiting process. They need to have a good eye-to-eye communication. They need to know where we stand, how we run the program, how we do things, or they won't be at Colorado State. I mean, that's just how we do it. I want to be a process-oriented coach. There's some coaches out there that are results-oriented. We're process-oriented every day, working on making small progress that I believe leads to championships in the end, but that's not our goal. I let the results take care of themselves. If we've done our work day to day, stayed in the process, and that's a healthy execution of that, we're going to have good results in the end. We really focus on life coaching. Student athletes, a lot of coaches talk about open door policy. You got to be available, not just in your office, but on the track, in the weight room, and have those conversations. Very important. Servant leadership, I heard that discussed numerous times, really key on our team. And if my staff doesn't show it, the athletes aren't going to show it. So You know, and if I think I'm too good to do the dirty work and unload some bags, my athletes aren't going to want to do that either. And we need to lead by example. We do set standards and expectations, and it is lived out every day. If you set all these standards and expectations and you don't follow through with it and there's no consistency, you might as well throw it all out. That's not a good plan. And guys, I don't get it right all the time. Sometimes, you know, I look back and, you know, I didn't do that very well. So I have to hold myself accountable too, and my staff holds me accountable. And I appreciate that. Extreme consistency, really important. Have faith in the process. You got to believe in it as a coach too, for your athletes to believe in it. Okay? And then the biggest thing is results come from preparation, and that's the day-to-day. And I love that part of coaching is the day-to-day. I don't even want to call it a grind. When I get up in the morning and go to work, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like, I've been doing this 37 years, still doesn't feel like work. Sometimes recruiting does. But the coaching side of it typically does not feel like work at all. So the other part is hire great staff that believe in what you're doing and are with you as a united front and believe in the cause. So that's the advice I have for you. Thank you so much.
Nicely done. Good tap dancing. Nicely done.
I appreciate you.
All right, thanks, Coach. I have one fun Sonny Lubick story just about character. And it's not just coaches, you affect the athletes, but people around you. In 1999, I was doing sidelines for the radio broadcast for CSU, and I was pregnant with our first child. And we had gone to Fresno, I think, and lost. And after the game, at that time we would always bring our bags in. The radio crew had to bring our bags in. We'd been back on the bus, and so I'm there, I'm pregnant, getting my bag, and Sonny Lubick said, "Susie, can I take your bag for you?" And I thought, this is a Division I football coach that just lost a game, and he wants to carry the pregnant sideline girl's bag for her to the bus. And that's character. Like that, I was stunned. I'm like, oh my gosh, he sought me out to carry my bag. And that's the kind of character that we talk about. And it's not, like I said, just with the athletes, but with everybody that's around you, which is pretty cool. So, all right, so back on December 1st, the athletic department, this guy over here, John Weber, surprised everybody, and I mean everybody, with the hiring of Jim Mora as the 25th head coach of CSU football. Don't tell him that we still can't believe he's here, okay? To say that Jim Mora has been around football for a while is a bit of an understatement. Jim was born in 1961.
Hey, whoa.
Whoa, sorry. No, but I'd say this is part of my story here. And his dad, also known as Jim Mora, but they're not a senior junior because they have different middle names, but his dad started coaching, I think, 1960 or 61, right when you were born. He wasn't born yet. Okay, so anyway, his entire life has been centered around football. He lived everywhere that his dad coached, of course, including that town down the road that we don't like to talk about. Played collegiately at the University of Washington, and then started coaching right after college. He's been in the collegiate ranks, the NFL, even came over to the dark side that I'm on and did some broadcasting for a little while. Most recently, of course, Coach Mora was at the University of Connecticut, a school that is well known for basketball. We just saw the men in the Natty on Monday and the women in the Final Four. But Jim took the football program to heights they'd never seen. Back-to-back 9-win seasons, qualified for bowl games 3 of his 4 years there, and was a finalist last year for the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year award. He got fans in the stands and put a different sport on the map for a school that usually only cares about basketball. We cannot wait to see what he does with the green and gold here, and a school and a community that absolutely loves their football team. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Mora.
Sorry. Thank you, and thank you to the entire CHAMP organization for hosting this event and for inviting me. I'm truly honored. Congratulations to all the scholarship and award winners. Where are the scholarship award winners? Can you guys stand up? Are they still here? The kids?
Yeah.
Congratulations. And also congratulations to our 3 recipients, Coach Bedard and Terry and Mike. Job well done, fantastic. And then how about a round of applause to all the coaches, the parents, and the administrators that commit so much to our youth. Appreciate all of you. I can tell you this, when you all do your job the way that you do your job, it certainly makes our job a lot easier to do. So, but I'm excited to talk about being a champ. And as I understand it, what that acronym does is character in athletics, make it a priority. And I love that. And it's so relevant in everything that we do as a football team here. And so what I thought that I would do today is tell you what our championship mindset is here at CSU football, what we are trying to develop here in our program. And hopefully there's some things that I say that you can take back to your programs, to your teams, to your schools as players, as young people, to your teams, and you can help build the environment that you want that gives you sustained success. So if we could go to the first slide here. The very first thing that we talk about is a program in being a champion and defining or creating our championship mindset is what is our why? What is our why? Why are we doing what we're doing? And what we do is we ask our players, what is your motivator? What is your motivating circumstance? What is the outcome you desire? And then you have to take a deep inward look at why you're doing what you're doing. What is its importance to you? Is it real? We tell the players, your why will change throughout your life. We have sessions with our players where we become very vulnerable with each other. And we stand in front of each other and we talk about why we are here making the commitment that we're making to this football program, to each other, to this school, what it means to us, what we hope it means for our future, and we show each other respect because we believe that when we have that understanding of each other, then we're going to be a more connected team. We're going to be more likely to express empathy. We're going to be more likely to hold each other accountable. We understand each other's goals and their whys, and so when someone is not doing what aligns with their why or their goal as a teammate, we can hold them accountable, and that's very important to us. And so we tell our players this: outcomes are the consequences of your decisions, your actions, and what you do. What you don't do, how you do it, and your response to whatever occurs. And so we ask our players, what will it take for you to produce your outcome, your why? Think about it. We have them write it down. We have them discuss it. What behavior patterns may be getting in the way of your why? Because we all have that. Complacency, mediocrity, excuses. What are your excuses? What are the reasons that you're not attaining what your goal and your outcome and your why is? And then what's very important is this, is how can we as teammates understand and support each other, as well as hold each other accountable to behaviors that support each other's why? And we have deep, in-depth discussions about our why. And so we feel like that's the most important thing that we can start with is, why are we here? Okay, can we get the next slide? Okay, and then we talk about doing your job. Doing your job, play your role, handle your responsibility to the team to the very best of your ability, and do it that way day after day after day. When you are part of a team, everyone on that team will have a different role. We all have different roles to play, but all of our roles are equally important to our success as a team. So embracing our role is critical to our success, okay? Doing our job is critical to our success. Doing our job to the best of our ability every single day is critical to our success individually and as a team, okay? We say this, we may have different levels of responsibility, but we are all equally responsible for the success of the team, the commitment that we make to the team. Okay, I'll give you an example here. When I was in the National Football League, we would go scout during March. March was a week or a month where you'd go on the road and you'd look at college players as you prepared for the draft. And you tried to learn everything about them. And we also took it as an opportunity to learn about cultures and programs. And so I was at the University of Alabama one time scouting. And Alabama is obviously a pretty good football program. And I walked down through the equipment room because when you go out to scout a player that you're about to invest millions of dollars in, you want to know everything that you can about that player. So part of my process was to go down and talk to the trainers, talk to the equipment people, talk to the support people that maybe people don't think matter, but they're critical to the importance of your program. And it wasn't about a player I was asking about, it's about what I saw when I walked into that equipment room. And I saw student assistants, okay, unpaid student assistants folding towels like their life depended on it. I mean, like they were military, creased corners, perfect. And I said, "Wow, what are you guys doing?" Okay, and their answer wasn't, we're folding towels. Their answer was, I'm working to win a national championship. And that was really relevant to me. And so we try to instill that attitude in everybody in our program. We are all working to win a national championship. There's no detail that is too small. There's no detail that goes unnoticed. There's no detail that doesn't matter to us having success. And so it's doing your job, okay? Can we go to the next slide here real quick? Okay, this is something that you see at the bottom of the PowerPoint. You see it around this building. If you've walked around the building, you'll see this comment: discipline over feelings. Discipline over feelings, okay? When you set a goal, and this is stolen from Kobe, who's someone that I admire as a basketball player, and later in life as he became more of a philosopher, some of the things he said. But Kobe used to say, you set a goal, you're making a contract with yourself. You're shaking hands with yourself and you're saying, no matter what, I'm going to get the job done. No matter the circumstance, I'm going to get the job done. No matter how I feel, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do the work and I'm going to get the job done. And too often we let our feelings get in the way of our goals, of our objectives, of our why. We start feeling sorry for ourselves. We start rationalizing, saying, hey, I'm going to put it off today. I'll get to it the next day, okay? Well, having a championship mindset, a championship mentality is rejecting those things, rejecting excuses and sticking to the discipline, okay? Making sure that when you set your goal, you create the habits that align with your goals and you do it constantly. And champions understand that they may have an off day, but champions also understand that they can never have a day off. So you come in every day with the mindset of this is going to be the greatest day of my life. I'm going to be better today than I've ever been before. It may not happen, but if you don't approach your life in that day in your life with that mindset, then it's probably never going to happen. So we talk about that a lot. We talk about discipline being the ability to train your mind to not give a darn how hard it is, what the circumstances are, what you feel. If a job has to get done, the job gets done. You get it done. As a player, as a coach, as a member of this program, okay? You may not control your natural ability, but we all know this as parents. We control, we say it all the time, our attitude and our effort and our discipline. So we talk constantly about that. And then someone said to me this one time, they said, excuses. You know, we all make excuses. Tell the players all the time, excuses are you negotiating with your success. Excuses are you negotiating with what you're trying to accomplish, with your why. And so we're going to reject excuses and we're going to realize that greatness lives on the other side of, I don't feel like it. You've got to push through those things. To me, that's a championship mindset. Okay, the next slide would be a great teammate. And this is for the younger people. Be a great teammate. Whether you're sitting on the bench or you're the superstar, it's your team. You have to own your role on your team. It doesn't matter if you're playing 60 minutes a game or you're standing on the sidelines for 60 minutes cheering on your teammates. It is your team, okay? And champions carry themselves like champions all the time. They don't pick and choose. It's a constant commitment to be the very best that they can. And that's what great teammates do. I say this, a player that makes a team great is more important to that team than a great player. The attitude, the energy that they bring every day, the infectious energy that permeates the team, that a great teammate brings, that is more important than having a great player on your team. Okay? And as a teammate, it's imperative that you earn the trust of your teammates every single day with your actions. Okay? If your actions don't align with your words, then your words are meaningless. So it's about your actions. It's about being dependable. It's about being consistent every single day. Okay? You have to show your teammates that you're committed. That's what good teammates do. And then we ask our players this question. Ask yourself, if every player on our team was like me in everything that I do that affects this team, how good would this team be? And I ask them that constantly. If every player was acting like I'm acting today, how good would this team be? Would we be a great team? Would we be a mediocre team? Would we be a poor team? Would we be a tough team? Would we be a team that gives in when adversity hits? So we ask ourselves those questions all the time. And we always understand that the collective strength of the team is more important than the individual strength of each player. That came to me when I was fortunate enough to coach for the Atlanta Falcons and coach a guy named Mike Vick. Now, you can have whatever feelings you have about Mike Vick and what transpired in his life, but my very first game as a head coach, we go beat the San Francisco 49ers. We're in the locker room, and Mike says to me, he says, "Hey, Jim, in the pros, you call each other by your first name. There is no coach. That goes away." So he says, "Hey, Jim, can I say something to the team?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, Mike, say what you want." And he has a ball in his hand, and I'm thinking to myself, maybe he's going to give me the game ball. He didn't, okay? But he holds up the ball, and he goes, "Hey, who's the best player on our team?" All right, well, now, again, a little clicker went off in my head. It said, maybe Mike's going to say, "I'm the best player. I'm Mike Vick. I'm the highest paid player in the league." But he didn't. He said, "The best player on this team is this team." And that had an effect on me when he said that. This is a superstar player. This is arguably at the time one of the very best players in the National Football League. And he understood that he had to be subservient to the goals of the team for us to be successful. And when a guy like that, who's your best player, adopts that attitude and he states it and he demonstrates it, it's very, 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 very powerful. Okay? And then the last slide, I want to leave you with this, is adopt the Mama mentality. And as I said, the things that Kobe has said have made an impact on me. And this is something that I'll review with our team all the time. And I think it's so important. It's about this is Kobe, it's about the process of getting to that result. It's about the journey and the approach. It's a way of life. And everybody talks about the process now. The process is the work we do to try to attain the goals that we've set, our why. It's the process. It's a daily grind. It's the commitment. It's the discipline over feelings. It's the mental toughness, okay? It says, have a passion. Do what you love. Pick out something you love, be passionate about it, and go for it. Go for it without fear, okay? Fear's a liar. Just go for it. Just press on, no matter what the circumstance. Obsession. Get better every single day. If you ever listen to Kobe, and what we impress on our players is every single day is a chance to get better as an individual, as a football team, and ultimately in the game of life. Because everything that we do down in that locker room and on that football field is a microcosm of what these young men are going to face as they go through life. Because we all know this, life is very, very, very tough, okay? So get better every single day. Relentlessness, outwork your potential. We set limits on ourselves, okay? We believe that we're only capable of so much, but we're not. We're capable of so much more. We tell our players, hey, here's the edge. Here's the barrier that you've set for yourself. Smash through that barrier. Just smash through it. And then there'll be another barrier that you think this is as far as I can go. And you know what? It's not. It's limitless. Go through that one next, okay? And then resilience. Enjoy the road, especially when it's a hard one, okay? We said hard things are hard. Handle hard better, okay? There's no progress in the comfort zone. Embrace the things that are hard in your life. Don't shy away from them. Attack them. Attack them, attack them. And really, those are the 5 things that we talk about constantly in terms of us creating a championship mindset here at Colorado State. So I want to leave you with the question that I ask our players every day, and it's this. If someone followed you around 24/7 for 1 week, would they believe that you're serious about your goals? So I want to thank you again for including me, for taking time this morning to recognize and honor some really important people in the community, to recognize the student athletes that work so hard at their sport, and I'm sure are also fantastic students. And I wish you a great day and a happy day. Thank you very much. 10 minutes.
Good job. On to the next. Okay, you're good. You want to take some questions? Or no?
I will take questions, yeah. If you got questions,
yeah,
they can be about they can be about anything but our athletic director.
Yeah.
No questions.
I have one.
Oh, gosh, I thought I was going to get out of here. Yeah.
You said it fast and skipped over, but tell us a little bit more about fear is a liar.
Fear is a liar.
Yeah.
Your fears lie to you. I just believe that, I mean, see if I can put it in a way that makes sense outside of my confused mind at times. We're afraid of things that we shouldn't be afraid of. Attack fear. That's what I say, is attack it, okay? We have goals, we have objectives, we have things that we want to accomplish in our life, and I think that we create barriers for ourselves. I think we create these self-imposed barriers because we're afraid, maybe we're afraid of failure. Maybe we're afraid of putting ourselves out there because if we fail, we'll feel less important or we won't feel as good about ourselves. And I just believe that you have to reject that and you have to attack everything. And there are no limits. And fear to me is a limit. And it's lying to you. It's telling you what you can't do instead of you telling yourself what you can do.
Thanks, Coach.
Love that.
Sure. Someone else had a question right over
I
here.
just had a joke. I wonder who the oldest head coach on staff is here at Colorado State.
That would be.
Wow.
I think that and I'm really proud of this, is
I'm proud of it too.
we hired a very, very, very young staff on purpose. I had a really great experience at Connecticut by hiring a young staff. I realized that there was so much that I could learn from these young people in terms of how to teach, how to relate, how to communicate with the players, how to do things differently. You know, because that old saying, well, we've always done it that way. We've always done it that way. It creates mediocrity, and it's complacent. And I also felt like, as a 64-year-old, thank you, okay, that maybe there was just a little chance that I can contribute a little bit of, you know, my experiences to help them grow as coaches, as mentors, as men and women. And we do have a woman on our staff. So, you know, when I say men and women, I mean women. And I'm not talking about just on our staff, I mean on our coaching staff. So our assistant D-line coach is a female, and she's outstanding. So that's why I say men and women. Yes?
How, in your young age that you are now, how have the athletes changed over the years?
The what?
Athletes. How has the athlete changed over the years, and what have you found in this new generation, the best way to reach them, to connect with them, and how have they been different? Great question. From just a few years past?
I mean, the changes are dramatic. They really are. Let's start with attention span, okay? You get them for about 20 minutes max, okay? We do something that's probably unorthodox, is I allow them to bring their phones into a meeting. And they have to be off, they can't be on vibrate, okay? They have to be on silent, because I know that in this generation, I'm not going to change it at this point in their life. They have separation anxiety if they don't have their phone near them. Okay, that's your lifeline now. Okay, I actually put mine over here and I'm having separation anxiety. But I, at times, will stop a meeting. I haven't done it here because I'm trying to build some endurance to stay in a meeting and say, hey, take 5, check your phones. You know, they let them check in and then you get them back again. I think that there's, at this time in college football, college athletics with revenue share in the NIL, there can be some selfishness, and to be a good team, you have to be selfless, and so you have to find ways to make sure that that doesn't permeate your program. There's a little bit too much me instead of us. I don't feel that there's always the connection to the school that we love as college coaches or fans of college sports. It used to be that a young person came in as a freshman, and as a coach or as a fan, you got to watch them develop, and by the time they were seniors, they were well known to you. You'd seen their struggles, you'd seen their successes, you really cheered for them. I think it's dangerous that these players don't have a connection to a university. I have a really strong connection to where I went to school. I don't cheer for them anymore, okay, but I have that connection to them. And too often now you're seeing players that have been to 4 or 5 different schools, and so, like, what's your alma mater? You know, I don't know. Where are you going to go back to connect with people? Where's your support group? I think those things are really challenging right now, but they're also fun. You know, it's also fun to find ways to bring a group together that's coming from 30 different schools and worried about themselves and money. All right, and how do you conquer that? How do you attack that as a staff? What are the things that you say and you do? And those are some of the things that we talk about right there. You know, once our players have agreed to a contract, which is what college sports has become, all money talk, it's done. It's absolutely done, and it's a meritocracy. It's can you do it the way that we need to have it done every single day in order to be who we want to ultimately be as a football team? Anything else? Yes, sir.
quick question for the athletes you're recruiting. What character qualities are you looking for, and why is that important for your team?
Accountability, toughness, physical, mental, and emotional toughness. Start with accountability, okay? I don't want guys that do this. You do this, you remember there's 3 pointing right back at you, okay? Accountable for their actions, accountable to their university, to their team, to their teammate, to their family, to their reputation, to the reputation of their university, their team, and their family. So people that can accept responsibility, that's number one. Toughness, which is emotional toughness. It's certainly in our sport, physical toughness, and then it's mental toughness. You know, you think about how hard it is to be a student athlete this day and age, especially in football. We put huge demands on these young men in terms of academics, you know, handling their social life, not to mention the strains of being a major college football player. You know, you might have a chemistry test on Thursday that you've had to study all week for, along with getting ready for your opponent. And then on Saturday, you've got to go out here on the field in front of 41,000 crazy, all of you will be there screaming CSU fans and perform on national TV against the best athletes in the country aligned across from you. So you have to have that mental and emotional strength to do that. Competitive greatness. Okay, this is John Wooden, we want those that are at their best when their best is needed, that can step up when it's time. And that ability to do so is built through the process and the work that we do and the confidence that develops in the work that we do. And then we want young men that adopt that ego of the best player on the team is the team. You know, they're selfless. They have a team ego. To play this sport, you have to have an ego. You better believe you're really darn good in order to go out there and perform in those environments I just talked about. But your individual ego has to be subservient to the ego of the team. Our saying is this: after a game on a Sunday night, we will give out awards and we will recognize individual achievement, but only if it leads to team success. So if we win on a Saturday, then we're going to celebrate the heck out of it, and then we're going to put it away and go on to the next one. Okay? We're going to celebrate the individual achievements that led to the team's success. But if we don't have success, then we don't do that. Now, you might saddle up to a guy and go, hey, man, you had a heck of a game. You know, I'm sorry it didn't work out. You played your tail off. You hope as a coach that guy says back to you, I wish I could have done more, rather than say, yeah, thanks, coach, I know I did. So those are the characteristics in general that we're looking for in the men that we recruit and try to bring to Colorado State.
Love it.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, we got defensive linemen down here talking. Go ahead.
A lot of coaches in the room, business leaders, what would be a book or podcast that you would recommend?
Oh, gosh. You know, anything by John Gordon I like to read. John's a close personal friend, and I think that he gives good advice. I subscribe to a newsletter called The Daily Coach, and it's done by a guy named Mike Lombardi, who is the general manager of the Raiders. He worked for a long time with Bill Belichick. He's now he's the general manager at University of North Carolina, and he brings in people from all walks of life. And every day he has a newsletter, and every day I find a nugget that I can learn from. Anything that George Raveling touched, you know, I'm interested in, because I think he coached the right way. I think he was tough. I would recommend reading Danny Hurley's book that came out. You know, I'm like a teenager a lot of the day. I'm on X or Twitter, and I'm on Instagram, and I'm looking for nuggets, you know. But I would recommend Danny's book. You know, Danny's a complete psychopath, as we all see on TV. But I was so fortunate to be around him and Gino Oriama for 4 years, and they're two of the best coaches I've ever been around. You know, and Danny's philosophy of coaching, and he talked about it yesterday. You know, you have to be the what did he say? You really have to have two personalities, and I wish I could, if I had my phone, I'd tell you exactly what he said. But in practice, you know, you're cracking the whip, okay, and you're driving them, and you're on them, and you're making them as uncomfortable as they can possibly be, and everything's intense, and everything's competitive, and it's over the top. But then on game day, he said, on game day, you're the corner man. On game day, you're the corner man. And you're managing their emotions, and you're their biggest cheerleader, and you're telling them what they need to hear in that moment. But during the week, you're the madman. And players love that. Players love that. And Danny, I've been to his practices, you know, he embodies that. But I'll tell you this, in 4 years with Danny, I never one time saw him during a game get on a player in a negative way, in a way that someone would have looked at the event and said, wow, he's getting after that guy. You would only have seen him saying, hey, he's encouraging him, or he's helping him work through the difficulties he's having in this game right now. So anything by those people right there.
Great.
Anything else? Well, thanks again, and you all have a great day. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, thanks, Jim. We'll see you Friday.